Okay, let's go through how we can code up this very first activity here, the character animation. So we're given some starting code. So if we run this, you can see all of the characters being displayed one underneath each other using the print functions. So obviously what we want to do is not have them displayed one underneath each other and have them be displayed in the same spot and cycling through like this. So remember we talked about the flip chart and how that can be used to simulate an animation, and the key point that advances the animation from one frame to the next is obviously the flipping of the sheet of paper. So the way that we do that in Python is we're going to clear the screen. So basically we start with the first character here. So if I just do this thing called commenting, so if you put a hashtag in front of the signs like this, it'll just take them away for the time being. So the code is still there, but Python won't run it. And you can see the one character being displayed. What we would like to do is to clear the screen. So kind of like flipping the sheet of paper, we want to clear the screen by using the clear function. So remember, a function is a word, generally a verb, so a doing word followed by some brackets. So this is going to get Python to do something for us. It's going to clear the screen, and then we can then display the next character like this. Okay, so let's just see what this does when we run it. And you can kind of see when you keep on running it, it just displays the second character. You can't actually see the first character. But if we go up to the top and actually click step, you can see what's going on is that it does display the first character, it clears the screen, and then it displays the second character. But what happens is the clearing happens immediately after the first one, so we don't get actually any time to see the first character before it disappears as a result of the as a result of the screen clearing. So what we're going to do here to make sure that we can see the first character for a moment before it gets cleared is we're going to use the sleep function. Once again, it's a function because it's a doing word followed by some round brackets, but the sleep function actually requires a number inside it to tell it how long to pause for. So this will pause whatever Python's doing for a number of seconds, and then it will resume. So if I put sleep 1, it's going to pause for 1 second before the screen gets cleared, and then before the next character gets displayed. So if we run this now, right, you can see that first character being there for 1 second, and then the next character appearing. So what we do from here is we kind of just follow that same pattern. So we're going to, after the second character gets displayed, we're going to sleep for a little bit, clear the screen, so kind of like flipping the chart, display the third character. So let's just see what happens here. Okay, so now you can see 3 frames of animation happening now, and then we follow the same pattern. So I'm just going to Control C, Control V to copy and paste, uncomment the second last character, Control V to paste again, uncomment the last character. So now we should see the animation appearing. Okay, so it actually cycles through all 5 frames. So if you notice, if you think that the sleeping is a little bit too long, then we can change the number inside the brackets, and this can go into decimals. So if we wanted to only pause it for half a second, we can just use 0.5. So I'm just going to highlight that and replace it. Okay, let's try that. Okay, it's a little bit faster. Could still be a little bit slow though. Okay, so let's maybe make that 0.25. And you can play around with these numbers to get an animation that you like. Okay, maybe that's still a bit too slow. Let's make that just 0.1. So 1/10 of a second. Okay, so run that, and now that kind of looks like that animation up there, doesn't it? So we run it again, and it kind of does one cycle through. So we would like an animation that goes on forever, and obviously we can just keep copying and pasting this many times, but that would be quite long, and then it won't always go on forever, right? It will only go on for as long as we've copied and pasted the code. So in order to do in order to change the code so that it continues to cycle through and loop forever, we're going to introduce you to a concept called a goto loop. Now, this is something that's just introduced in this version of Python that we have on our website here. It's a beginning kind of loop that beginners can learn how to code and use quite easily. And the way it works is you imagine setting up a little bookmark in an area, in any area of your code, and then having the ability in another part of the code to jump back to that bookmark. So the way this is going to work is I'm just going to set up a bookmark right up the top here called again. Notice in this situation, all the bookmarks start with, all these labels, as they are formally called, they start with a full stop. Okay, so label dot again. Label saying is that there's a bookmark here, and the name of that bookmark is called again, because we can have multiple bookmarks or labels in our code. And then right at the end here, we're going to use the goto command to go to the again bookmark, which will cause the code to jump all the way back up here. So if I run this in the step mode, you can see what's going on. There's the label. The label by itself doesn't do anything. We're going to print, pause, clear, print, pause, clear, print, pause, clear, print, pause, clear, print. I probably need to do a pause there as well. And then we get to this go to again, and notice what happens to the code. It jumps back up to the top and it does its thing again. Okay, so I probably need to do a sleep and a clear at the bottom here. And now if we run this in full speed, we can see the thing going on and on forever. So that's how we do this very first one.